Hello and welcome to another episode of A Brief History. Today's episode, Vine. Ready, set, go. New York, 2012. A trio of dudes by the name of Dom Hoffman, Russ Yusupov, and Colin Kroll come together to develop their very own social networking app. Originally, their goal was simply to create a way of easily filming and editing together video. These videos were planned to be pretty much unlimited in their runtime, but a few rounds of testing proved this approach to be difficult to manage. File sizes were too large, making videos difficult to share, so our trio decided to implement a time limit. Eventually, they settled on around 6 to 6.5 seconds. However, this solution created a new problem. Videos now came and went in the blink of an eye, ending before they had the chance to really leave an impact. So the team made yet another tweak that allowed these short videos to loop, 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 And it was this set of changes that would come to characterize their app, which eventually came to be known as Vine, a video sharing application that focused on bite-sized looping video content. And no sooner after being founded in June of 2012, Vine was purchased by the social media juggernaut Twitter for around $30 million. Now, keep in mind, this deal went through in October of 2012. Vine hadn't even launched yet, but that would not be the case for much longer, for on January 24th, 2013, Vine was officially launched for iOS devices, with Android and Windows Phone support coming in the months that followed. More specifically, June 2nd for Android and November 12th for Windows Phone. Now, Vine was not without competition. Other mobile video sharing apps had existed before Vine, but when Vine dropped, it quickly blew the vast majority of them clear out of the water. Users quickly began adopting and experimenting with this new service, creating videos of all kinds. Only a few months into its existence, and Vine users were already spreading their wings, filling the app up with everything from comedy sketches and musical covers to stop-motion animations, slick editing magic videos, news coverage, and so much more. And part of the reason people took to Vine so quickly may have been its interface. At its launch, Vine was an incredibly accessible app. You had a feed of looping videos from users that you could watch and comment on, and if you wanted to film a video, you had a very simple press and hold setup in which you would press the screen to record, release to stop, and press and hold again to film your next clip. On top of this, you could only film Vines with the outward-facing camera on your phone, so if you wanted to film yourself, you'd have to turn your phone around, leaving you unable to actually see what you're filming. For what it was originally setting out to do, this interface worked well for Vine, but in retrospect, let's just say it was an awkward setup that led to some equally awkward videos. And yet, over the next few months, Vine became a social media phenomenon. Similar to the initial rise of YouTube, the unique homemade vibe of Vine's user content, mixed with its ease of accessibility and wide reach, led it to become a rapid success, reaching the top of the iOS free app charts by April 9th, 2013. So at this point, Vine had already resonated with a massive audience and seemed poised to become the next big thing in online video. As such, Vine would continue to update their app as the years went on. From mid-2013 onward, Vine was given new features, such as genre-specific content channels, a reposting feature known as revining, a loop counter, and several updates to the Vine camera, including front-facing camera support. And as Vine's interface expanded, so too did the app's reach. Users on Vine were skyrocketing in popularity, mainstream brands were picking up on the app's popularity, and before long, Vine became the internet's newest hotbed for viral trends and memes. Even mainstream celebrities were hopping onto the Vine train. Everyone from Macklemore, Taylor Swift, Justin Bieber, and particularly people like Josh Peck and Panic at the Disco frontman Brendan Urie, who were bona fide members of the Vine community, even going so far as to collaborate with other Vine-centric personalities, and I think Justin Bieber did that too, actually. Speaking of which, as I said before, users on Vine were rapidly growing in popularity, with the term Viner eventually being coined to describe those who found success on the platform. And much like YouTube before it, eventually these Viners were able to make careers out of their videos, with some of the more prominent personalities including Thomas Sanders, King Batch, The Gabby Show, Logan Paul, Marcus Johns, and many, many others. But with success comes competition, and while Vine was initially the frontrunner of mobile video sharing, it didn't take long for new contenders to rear their heads. In this case, Instagram. Primarily a photo sharing app, Instagram introduced the ability to film and share videos on their platform in June of 2013. Pretty much everything about this new development screamed that Instagram was trying to get a slice of the Vine pie, while also trying to one-up their competition by allowing 15-second videos rather than 6. Although this 15-second limit was eventually increased to a whole minute's worth of video in March of 2016, to which Vine would retaliate by allowing certain prominent users to upload videos to the platform that at first appeared to only be 6 seconds long, but could then be expanded to an entire 140 seconds. Get it? 'Cause Twitter? But I'm getting ahead of myself. The fact was, Vine was beginning to be challenged. The truth is, entertaining content aside, between its its simplistic interface, super short video length, and lack of resources, Vine was an accessible but very limiting app. All of these things were fine when Vine was first starting out and had little competition, but it didn't take long for these things to become issues rather than strengths. A lot of top Viners were jumping ship over to Instagram, Snapchat, and even YouTube, places that were simply offering more than Vine could match. So while Vine's active user count was in the range of 200 million by the end of 2015, the app seemed to be going through a noticeable decline in relevance as things like Snapchat and Instagram video grew in popularity. And then it happened. On October 27th, 2016, it was announced that Twitter had decided to shut down Vine. Sometime in the coming months, Vine was going to be discontinued after only 4 years on the market. This news came as a shock to people all across the internet, including one of the company's founders. And in one of the most surreal and tragic twists of irony I've ever seen, in the aftermath of this announcement, Vine arguably became more active than it had been in months. Vine feeds began flooding with posts from users who were saying their goodbyes, promoting their other social medias, and just enjoying the app while they still had it. I know I said earlier that a lot of top Viners were shifting gears towards Snapchat, Instagram, or YouTube, but there was still a large community of fans and Viners who stayed loyal to the app. And a lot of these people were losing the platform on which their career was built. It was sad, and quite frankly, it was kind of scary. But beyond the drama that ensued from this announcement of controversial business deals, Twitter's alleged mishandling of the app, or whatever, the bottom line here was that a platform that people built their livelihoods upon was being shut down, and that's a scary thought. But it wasn't all doom and gloom, for eventually it was clarified that Twitter was not completely axing Vine. Rather, they were going to be assimilating it into their own service. And thus, on January 17th, 2017, the Vine app was transformed into the Vine Camera app, where one could film and edit together a Vine-style video and then post it directly to their Twitter feed. And on top of that, the Vine website has remained up and functional on web browsers to this day, acting as an archive of all the content that was created over the last 4 years. So while Vine as a hub for content sharing is mostly gone, the genre and spirit of Vine content has still managed to live on, and most prominent Vine personalities have continued making content in their trademark styles via Instagram and Twitter. Vine was, without a doubt, one of the biggest roller coaster rides in all of online video. Its rise to the top was meteoric, helping usher in a new breed of online video while simultaneously reviving that homemade feeling that has kinda started to become lost on places like, well, YouTube. It gave a platform to a whole new generation of content creators, and while the platform may have reached a stagnation point, it never really had a true fall from grace, which made its eventual discontinuation far more surprising and unfortunate. But what's more unfortunate is the fact that Vine's short lifespan meant that it never really seemed to gain the respect that it deserved. Heck, YouTube is over a decade old and is still struggling to be viewed as a legitimate grown-up industry by those outside of the community. So with Vine only lasting for 4 years, I fear it won't be remembered for what it really was. Yes, Vine was young and silly and occasionally annoying, but it was also fun, creative, inspiring, and kinda beautiful. Vine was by no means perfect, but it was the kind of thing that just doesn't happen very often. An explosion of creativity and energy that spawned dedicated communities that collaborated and bounced off one another on a scale that has not been seen in the online video world for quite some time. So, love it or hate it, Vine was something all its own, the likes of which we may not see again for several years. But while it may have been gone just as soon as it began, the impact that Vine has made on the online video industry will no doubt last for several years to come. Thanks for watching, guys. DFTBA. Hey guys, thank you so much for watching my Vine brief history. I hope you liked it. I was a big fan of Vine and I hated to see it go, so I wanted to make this video as a way of, I guess, paying my respects, even if it is a couple months late. If you want to check out some more brief history, you can click here to see my last episode about Jaden Animations, or here to check out my Vlogbrothers episode. Oh, and I want to give a quick shout out to Ashley Strongarm. She's a super talented singer who gained her following through Vine, and she was kind enough to look over the script to this episode and give me her thoughts, so thanks a ton, Ashley. And I think that's about it, so I'll say it again, thanks for watching, guys, and DFTBA.